During the Middle Ages, Somalia's territory witnessed the emergence and decline of several powerful sultanates that dominated the regional trade. At no point was the region centralized as one state, and the development of all the sultanates was linked to the central role that Islam played in the area since the 7th century. The Sultanate of Mogadishu was an important trading empire that lasted from the 10th century to the 16th century. It maintained a vast trading network, dominated the regional gold trade, minted its own Mogadishu currency, and left an extensive architectural legacy in present-day southern Somalia. The JIRE Sultanate ruled over large parts of the Horn of Africa between the 13th and late 17th centuries. Through a strong centralized administration and an aggressive military stance towards invaders, it successfully resisted NOQO invasion from the west and the Portuguese incursion from the east. It left an extensive architectural and engineering legacy. The WAQTIATADA Sultanate was a kingdom centered in northeastern and in some parts of southeastern Somalia. It was one of the largest sultanates ever established in the territory. The Sultanate of Ifat was a medieval Muslim sultanate in the Horn of Africa. Led by the Walashma dynasty, it was centered in the ancient cities of Zila and Shua. The kingdom ruled over parts of what are now eastern Ethiopia, Djibouti, and northern Somalia. Ifat first emerged in the 13th century, when Sultan Amar Walashma conquered the Sultanate of Showa in 1285. The Adal Sultanate or Kingdom of Adal was founded after the fall of the Sultanate of Ifat. It flourished from around 1415 to 1577. Following the Middle Ages and early modern period, Arab sultanates continued to dominate the region until it fell under the colonial control of Europeans in the 19th century. The Sultanate of Mogadishu was an important trading empire that lasted from the 10th century to the 16th century. It rose as one of the preeminent powers in the Horn of Africa over the course of the 12th to 14th centuries, before becoming part of the expanding JIRE Empire. The Mogadishu Sultanate maintained a vast trading network, dominated the regional gold trade, minted its own Mogadishu currency, and left an extensive architectural legacy in present-day southern Somalia. Its first dynasty was established by Sultan Fakhruddin. This ruling house was succeeded by the Muzaffar dynasty, and the kingdom subsequently became closely linked with the JIRE Sultanate. For many years, Mogadishu stood as the preeminent city in what is known as the Land of the Berbers, which was the medieval Arab term for the Somali coast. The JIRE Sultanate ruled over large parts of the Horn of Africa between the 13th and late 17th centuries. Through a strong centralized administration and an aggressive military stance toward invaders, it successfully resisted NOQO invasion, a series of expansions in the 16th and 17th centuries by the Oromo people from parts of Kenya and Somalia to Ethiopia from the west and the Portuguese incursion from the east during the Gulmado and the Jiran-Portuguese Wars. A JIRE Sultanate left an extensive architectural legacy, being one of the major medieval Somali powers engaged in castle and fortress building. Many of the ruined fortifications dotting the landscapes of southern Somalia today are attributed to the JIRE Sultanate's engineers. The WAQTIATADA Sultanate was a kingdom centered in northeastern and in some parts of southeastern Somalia. It was one of the largest sultanates ever established in the territory, and, at the height of its power, included the Sanag region and parts of the northeastern Bari region of the country, an area historically known as Makhar or the Makhar Coast. The Sultanate was founded in the late 13th century in northern Somalia by a group of Somalis from the WAQTIATADA branch of the DHALAD clan. It survived until the British colonization. Modern sultanates. Following the Middle Ages and early modern period, Arab sultanates continued to dominate the region, until it fell under the colonial control of Europeans in the 19th century. The Sultanate of the DHALAD ruled parts of the Horn of Africa during the late 17th century and 19th century. The Sultanate was governed by the Gabarun dynasty. It was eventually incorporated into Italian Somaliland in 1908, and ended with the death of Osman Ahmed in 1910. The Majeerteen Sultanate was a Somali Sultanate centered in the Horn of Africa. Ruled by Bokar Osman Mohammed during its golden age, It controlled much of northern and central Somalia in the 19th and early 20th centuries. The polity had all of the organs of an integrated modern state and maintained a robust trading network. It also entered into treaties with foreign powers and exerted strong centralized authority on the domestic front. In late 1889, Bokar Osman entered into a treaty with Italy, making his kingdom a protectorate known as Italian Somaliland. Finally, the Sultanate of Hobyo, in present-day northeastern and central Somalia and eastern Ethiopia, was established in the 1870s by Yusuf Ali Kanadid, cousin of Bokar Osman Mohammed. As with the Majortine Sultanate, the Sultanate of Hobyo exerted a strong centralized authority during its existence, and possessed all of the organs and trappings of an integrated modern state, a functioning bureaucracy, a hereditary nobility, titled aristocrats, a state flag, and a professional army. In late 1888, Sultan Kanadid entered into a treaty with the Italians, making his realm an Italian protectorate, but the Sultanate eventually dissolved in 1926. Somali merchants from Mogadishu established a colony in Mozambique to extract gold from the mines in Sofala. During the 9th century, Mogadishu minted its own Mogadishu currency for its medieval trading empire in the Indian Ocean. It centralized its commercial hegemony by minting coins to facilitate regional trade. The currency bore the names of the 13 successive sultans of Mogadishu. The oldest pieces date back to 923–24 and on the front bear the name of Imzal ibn Muhammad, the then Sultan of Mogadishu. On the back of the coins, the names of the 4 caliphs of the Rashidun Caliphate are inscribed. Other coins were also minted in the style of the extant Fatimid and the Ottoman currencies. Mogadishu hand coins were in widespread circulation. Pieces have been found as far away as modern United Arab Emirates, where a coin bearing the name of a 12th-century Somali Sultan Ali b. Yusuf of Mogadishu was excavated. Bronze pieces belonging to the Sultans of Mogadishu have also been found at Balad near Salalah and Ofar. Upon arrival in Mogadishu's harbor, it was custom for small boats to approach the arriving vessel, and their occupants to offer food and hospitality to the merchants on the ship. If a merchant accepted such an offer, then he was obligated to lodge in that person's house and to accept their services as sales agent.